Friday morning, and over here, Bullfog, Marty Stafford Sr. There's a slight breeze. Clear day. This is Bullfrog. Camped last night up at what they called primitive camping at some creek crossing. And hopefully there's a dock down there. As you can tell, we're pretty close to a highway here. We're looking in the direction of heading over towards Hall's Crossing from Bullfrog, where you begin to see it. That would be the edge of Hall's Crossing. And the area just faintly showing up is the where we take a right and start to head up the canyon, where you see that long drop shadow back there. That's the left wall. Right, and see if I can point to it. Right there. That's where we'll be headed today. These are the mountains, if you would, and behind as we pan back over towards Bullfrog. Water level looks like it's still up there. Pretty substantial. And you can see back there the shallow area going through there. I don't know if we'll be able to cross there or not. But there's a whole body of water back there. We got in last night at about 12:30 after forgetting and forgetting. First time I forgot my CDs. Came back for those. Headed off again. Stopped. Realized I'd forgotten half my food. Came back. Got that. So right now I'm panning back towards the direction that I came in. It's me and my tennis shoes. Pretty desolate. This primitive camping is just basically a glorified parking lot. Now there you see the other range. The mountains that this is up against. Some more happy campers. And there I am. And that's where I slept over there. Quite a campsite, don't you think? Okay. If you're not dizzy yet, let me see if I can top it off. So you got an idea of where we are. I need to clean the lens cap. The filter. Alright. There's Hall's Crossing over there. And there is Bullfog. We'll be going down there and getting the boat in the water shortly. Talk to you later. Well, this is the very back end of Annie's Canyon. Hadn't been all the way back here. It says there's a cave at the end. Well, we're in the cave. It's hard to grasp the depth here, but we're in a underneath of a overhang that just keeps coming out. It's over the top of us. I can't make it. Sorry. There we go. Okay, this is what I see when I look up. From there. There we go.
I'd like to play my trumpet here, but there's people here, so maybe I'll wait. We are right there. Here comes some boats. I wish I could play my trumpet. Here's the Rincon. That's where we spent the first night when we first came up here. After night. Around here by the Rincon is great. The water today is pretty calm. It's about 65 degrees, 68, 70, something like that. Well, here we are. It's 5:40 on Friday, December 6th, and this is our campsite. It's across the Colorado River from the Escalante, and I thought it was going to be all alone, but I'm not. There's my front room. Room with a view there. I may sleep up there, or I may sleep on that rock there. And then again, I may sleep down there. Well, I'll have to clean it up. Good morning. Yeah, I've been up for quite a while. Oh, about put my head in my dirty dishes from last night. Been up for a while. Caught a little bluegill, caught a catfish. Let him go. Let the bluegill go. Bluegill was this big. I caught the same one twice. He wouldn't leave me alone. And then I caught a smallmouth bass, and I'm going to have that for my breakfast lunch. So he's about, oh, I don't know, 12, 13 inches. And I'll show him to you, Tyler. There he is. I hope you can see that. Pretty massive, huh? So that's breakfast. And I caught him right over there off of that rock that I was thinking about sleeping on. I didn't sleep on it. I slept in the boat, but I took a good long nap because over there because my feet were cold and wet, and the sun finally came out at about 10 o'clock into this canyon. So that's where I about rolled over in my sleep and rolled into the water, but I didn't. So, talk to you later. It's 6:25 here at the back of Cottonwood Gulch, which is at the back of Reflection Canyon. And this is our campsite. I swam around in there, and there's all kinds of understructure, bushes, trees, that kind of stuff. And I caught a fish. It is this one. Pretty nice size. And I guess that's dinner. And I caught him on one of these. Top water plug. That's orange on the bottom. This is a sandy beach. Up there's the campsite. And up over there, behind those bushes up on that tall canyon wall, is some ruins. I've taken some still shots of it. There's a side shot of the ruins. The view from my humble little camp. So, I better get something ready for dinner. I had fish for lunch, my late breakfast or whatever, and I guess I'm having it for dinner too. Maybe this time I'll cook some rice or something. Bye-bye. Good morning. It's Sunday, October 8th, and we're finally through with a sandstorm last night that chased me off of our perfect beach into the boat. Every time I turned over, got a face full of sand. Things are blowing around everywhere. It's like being on McConaughey, a bad day, except I was up on the beach there. So this morning, I'm going to listen to some pipe organ music. It's Sunday. And then I'm going to go swimming and retrieve my lures. I caught fish alright, but I caught some sticks. And so I just left them out there. I got to go get them this morning. And the water's real clear. It's calm and quiet. show you mine. I left that pole in there and just left it hooked on. And then there's one way over here in those bushes. That's up in the air I gotta get. And you probably didn't see my face on the last one because I had the zoom on, so I'm going to make you look at it again. There, that's worse. So, I'm enjoying my CDs. I'm enjoying the view, the solitude, and I'm getting the grit out of everything, including my mouth. So this would be a fun place for us to go sometime, Tyler. And I think Tracy'd have fun snorkeling around here too. It's at the back of Reflection Canyon, and it's Cottonwood Gulch. See you. One more time around the campsite. Big rock. These trees really aren't willows. They're not cottonwoods. They're sort of like a real soft shrub. And that's what's down here in the water. And the stubs of them. There's understructure all the way across this thing like that. It's just not all of it shows up above water. Water calm, not a thing moving on it, except me. And over there behind the trees are the ruins, and we'll try and get another shot before we go. Okay, there's the ruins. There's some chiseled in steps over there leading up to it. Right there. Well, it's me again. This time we're at the back of Weatherill Canyon, which is like a couple up from Dungeon Canyon. And this, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this canyon just snakes way, way, way back here. Well, we're just about there at the end. Just a little ways until the end. And there's nothing but these big rock walls poured like big blobs of mud that have dried and turned into rock, and about an average of a 50-foot wide channel, getting smaller and smaller until at the end it's about 10-foot wide. It's about 40 foot here. There is no one around. It is perfectly quiet. I've camped with people, good people, but with people around me every night. This time, I hope not to. And there isn't any land here. There's no place to get out and walk. So it's going to be a swimming or sitting in the boat or fishing. I don't know what the fishing's like here, but sure hasn't had a lot of competition. So I'm trying out my new anchor in the back, that it goes straight down and anchors, as well as I have the regular anchor in the front, so I get to see how they react here. But it's real calm here. I got a feeling it'll be nice. It's not really dark. The sun is just gone over the top of these canyon walls we're straight down from, but it's only 4:23, so it's got quite a ways before the sun's gone. So we'll talk to you later. And there goes our two canoers heading off in the distance. There were actually 4 of them. Right as I stopped, they showed up. They have a campsite about a mile away down the canyon. And this is a shot down in the direction that the canyon narrows and eventually comes to a muddy stop. Apparently is what the kayaker said. Just as I was saying how I was going to be around with nobody, here comes 4 kayakers. What is that up there? Huh. From down here, it looked like a cross. Just a natural phenomenon. It's about 30, 40 foot deep here. Those go straight down. And this is the direction that the kayakers went. And this is where I'm going to be spending the night. I'm going to pull over here. Up there is where the sun just went down. And it's 4:30. So it's going to be nice and cool, pleasant. Sorry if I made you sit there. And here goes Dad to check out the waters. Make sure I don't lose my trunks first. Hi. Whoops. It's nice. Come on in. I think I'll get my snorkel on this time. Well, good morning. This is the second time I'm recording this. Last time I forgot and left the display on. There was numbers all over everywhere. So, at any rate, it's Monday, the 9th, October 9th, and I have just spent a phenomenal night here in the canyon. It's been utterly peaceful. The water's calm. It's quiet. No one around. And just surrounded by this beauty. It was really neat to watch last night as the sun went down. Then it was like the nighttime sun came up. The moon was so bright. And it really made this canyon look interesting. All the layered lines that you see in the rock ended up being shadowed in black and white with the moonlight. And it was as if I was in a painting. It was really neat looking. I tried to take a picture. I don't know if it came out on the little cheap camera, but boy, Nothing like him. And I put out my fishing pole with my worm on it, and 3 times during the night, starting at 2 o'clock, I woke up to hear my pole rattling, and there was a catfish on the end. And 3 times I let him go. So there's 3 of them out there with the line hanging out of his mouth, looking for somebody to bite it off or something. Maybe they'll bite it off, but I didn't want to tear them up. But unless they're over a foot, I'm not cleaning them. Too much work for too little meat. But it's been such a peaceful experience. I just got through listening to Rachmaninoff Concerto number 2 for piano, and it just capped it. So beautiful, so majestic, and peaceful. And for that reason, I don't know whether I'll be moving on today or just simply staying here. It's been such an experience. There's nothing else like it. When I try and relax and find peace, I usually try and focus on some peaceful image, close my eyes and imagine it. Well, here you don't imagine. You open your eyes and you're living it. And for that reason, I'm so grateful, Becky, that you let me do it. I know it's special, and I know it's not easy to let me do this, but I'll always be grateful. So if I don't go somewhere and I stay here, I will probably get out of the boat and walk up the rocks. There's a waterfall, a dried waterfall. Let me show you. Down at the bottom there, it's sandy. You can actually sit down in sand, but you can follow those pool holes up onto the rocks up there. And I think if you go up here, you can get up on the dirt and then climb around on that ridge, and from that ridge you should be able to see over further back out towards the main channel. We're quite a ways back here, but I may do that whether I stay here or not, and then I'm definitely going to go swimming again. So thank you very much for letting me do this, and I hope this isn't boring you to tears, but it's important and it's beautiful. Bye. Here I am in Dungeon Canyon. I left Witherill Canyon and came back here, and I'd been in here, but I couldn't recognize anything to make sure that I was in Dungeon Canyon because the markers were off. But this is, and this was our campsite. Those rocks there, that was what the water was up to. And you can see the water line. Is that line there? Well, that's how much it's gone down since we were here, so that's why I didn't recognize it. Right now there's a boat there. I haven't seen any people, but that's our campsite. Was our campsite. It's certainly overgrown with weeds now. And
the direction we're drifting is towards the point. That's the point that came out. All kinds of weeds up on top, but see if I can get over there without falling. Tyler, this is the tip where you caught your catfish by casting out here. Well, there's just more of the tip showing now. I thought you might be interested. So, there's an overall pan of it. And here comes a boat. So at any rate, I'm going to take us back over around the tip, around this rocky tip, into where our fishing hole was, Tyler. I'm just going to keep rolling here. This is coming around the tip. We're at about 27 foot of water here, but that is the start of the fishing hole. Back from the fishing hole area back over to the old campsite. If I can do this. Probably confusing, but it's hard to do. It's actually right around that tip there. This is Gregory Butte. We're headed further down the canyon towards the Arizona side, and this is the first big landmark that you come to out of that big open channel with no markers. This is Gregory Butte, and it's got water around all the way, but it looks like it's just a big piece of land sticking out. It's got water all the way around it. And then we're going to head in that direction. One of the more notable land sites that you see is that tower there. At first I thought that was Gregory Butte, but it's not. I believe that's Padre. But at any rate, I'm going to follow where that boat is. The beacon marker before I was going to show you before the camera went dead. Here by Gregory Butte, it says 27. That is not a one that's on the map like that. Either the map's outdated. This area, it showed on the map that there was the letters instead of the numbers all the way along. At any rate, we'll find out. That's one of the more striking landmarks in this area before we go into it. All these shots are from right next to Gregory Butte. Which is right here. Catch you later. Something. I said that I was going to be headed in that direction. I'm going this way and way down there. If you don't get seasick, that's Padre. So that's the direction I'm going to end up going. So it goes from around the big butte and then start heading towards Padre. Confusion. These are what I saw from way back there. And you know where this is? This is at the back of Last Chance Bay. Last Chance Bay. And so what I needed to do, instead of heading down this direction, I should follow the shoreline all the way around until after hugging the shore I can make a right, and that will open me up into Padre Bay. So I was right next to Padre Bay and headed off to Last Chance Bay instead of where I thought I was going. Nice ride. So this is what it looks like from Last Chance Bay, looking back in the direction I need to go. Looks like what I was headed for. And it was these nice fishermen there that told me where I was at. Said they caught about 50 bass last week in a 3-day period, 2 of them, and they can't seem to catch anything right now. So he was asking if they were boiling anywhere, and I told him I hadn't seen them anywhere. So we're gonna turn the boat around and head over there, hanging on to the right until it opens up into Padre. It's called the Grand Bench. Canyons along the way have names, even though they're just like bays, little bays or coves, they're canyon names. Spend the night here. I am right in here at Last Chance Bay. Second little bay over from the end, and then I go around to Padre Bay. This is called the Gooseneck Point here. And this is what it looks like. Right over around the corner there is Gregory Butte. Tomorrow I'm going to go around and then down towards the dam. And this direction was the way I was traveling when I headed back towards the end of Last Chance Bay and the Grand Bench. But I stopped here because I hope you can see this. Well, I don't think you can there. Let's try it over here. the water is so clear. I watched the anchor go all the way down about 20 foot. You could see it. See that rope there? Keeps on going. Down, down, down. And that's 20 feet down. Pretty hard to tell with a camera, but I tried. So, at any rate, there's really no dirt around here to speak of. It's all rock. But it's a nice place. There's a gradual slope over there of rock. I may get out and go walking on at some point in time. But this is where I'm going to stay. Just thought I'd get one more shot in. It's sunset time. The wind's starting to die down a little bit. A few fish are splashing here and there. There was one that splashed, I don't know where, but I heard it. Guess that helps. This is solitude of another sort. Yesterday and this morning I was in a little small canyon surrounded by rocks on both sides, about 30 feet apart. And this is a great bay. And no one's around. I hear the same crows. The water lapping. And this is where I sleep. Good morning, this is Marty Stauffer Sr. It's Tuesday, October 10th, at the fine hour of 8:30 our time, 7:30 their time. And I have a surprise in here for Tyler. And he happens to be in the bait well. Come out, oh great fish. This is from last night. Come out, Swami says, jump in my net. Great Swami says, jump in my net. Guess he won't do it. See if he'll make a thumping noise. Every time I touch his tail, he smacks his head into the wall. Alright.
This is Clyde the catfish. Say hello, Clyde. I don't know if you can hear it, but he's saying it. Clyde is 16 inches long, no hair, and slimy. He's a big catfish I caught last night, and I'll probably go through the trouble of cleaning him to eat him. Did you hear that? I'm gonna eat you. I want to be nice to you, but I'm gonna eat you. Can you say hello? Smile. Ah. Hi. Hi there, Tyler. Hi, Tracy. I'm slimy. Are you? He's got a real hard head. Hard. So, it's kind of pretty. And I think I'll probably have him for lunch or something. I'm not going to cook him for breakfast. I don't want to go through all that for breakfast. So, at any rate, he's our visitor. He won't be staying around long. He'll be passing on to my stomach. See you, Clyde. I would have had another fish this morning. I was hoping I was going to be able to reel it in and watch me reel it in and see what it was with me on video, but it got wrapped around the ladder first, and then my anchor, and then my front anchor wrapped around that in the middle of the night when he got on the line, and he broke the line. So, doggone it anyway. So, we're going to head this direction, go to Padre Bay, and possibly up to the dam and check in. Certainly, it would be at Wild Wheat and not at Bullfrog or Dangling Rope. So, that's what's happening today. I did take out the seat. I moved the seat so it's out of my way and I can sit up here and fish. And I got open here so I can roll around a little bit more. I hit, which helped immensely. So, we'll talk at you later. On our video story here, missed out a few steps. Be helpful in case I needed to retrace them. We had come this way around Gregory Butte and followed the outside shoreline until we came around down here. Now I kept following the outside shoreline and I ended up over there. Well, that's the entrance to Face Canyon, and that's not where we want to go. So what I had to do was come back out here in the channel, out here. I got to get around this, which is Dominguez Butte, and then follow around over there and make a hard left. But if I stayed on this side of Dominguez Butte, the land turns into Face Canyon. But on this side's the channel to go through. So I stopped and asked a park ranger who was out there with a boat dealer taking shots of a new boat or something. I thought it flipped over, but that was the way it looked. So at any rate, that's where we're headed. That's Dominguez Butte, and you got to be on the right hand side of that to get into the channel. That was what we were looking at, as being on the far side
next to the mouth. This is the mouth. Probably making everybody sick, sorry. Now that's the direction that we came from. Where that boat is heading from. That's where I came from. Those two boats. Okay, and I didn't turn, and I ended up going over into the Face Canyon, over that direction. So, we're going to pursue this direction, which is right after that. Now we're going to be headed for that buoy. I believe over this direction. Keep going this direction. Green on our right. Denmark coming up to at the mouth. Out in the middle of the water. That island there in the main channel has a day marker on it. Out in the channel on the left-hand side of it as you're coming into the channel. And it says green. So, 19. And the light up on top. We're coming up on a red marker, red buoy. our right, so we've got to head over in the other direction. Another buoy. Over here somewhere. This is really something that I can do. There's your picture within a picture. We've got a fancy TV going here. Alright. It's a green buoy. Which normally means it should be on the right. It sure is a long ways over here. Depth finder says 510 foot, so I guess we're okay. And it is, what do you think, Tracy? What buoy number is this going to be? Roll the drums. It is 15! You guessed it right! Or maybe wrong, I don't know. Alright. Forward ho. Well, there's been some shallows all the way around. Now I've got another green buoy coming up here. And what number do you think it's going to be, Tyler? You think it's going to be 15? Green one. It says 13. They're both off. Alright. Now we've got a bunch to navigate down here. That would be the most prominent feature as far as where we're heading. Buoy coming up over here. Might drive and do it. Oh, sorry. Now that's quite a ways on the side from this, but I believe that's where we're going. Now, the channel's fairly narrow here on the right side. The island's sticking out all the time. We'll keep going ahead. I figured out now. That area over there, which is just beyond the red marker on our left side, is the entrance to the Narrows. Those will take you back around and over, come up by the dam. Instead of going the Narrows though, we're going to go back out around this piece of land here and around. Just as we headed in that direction, a green buoy showed up. Now I'm also in very shallow water here. This is only 25 foot of water. 22 foot. 20. 18. 12, 13, 14, my goodness. And this one is I'm in 14 foot of water out here, way out in the middle. This says number 23. Well, you go figure. 23 what? The last one was 13. But I'm in 23 foot of water out here. And I'm quite a ways out here. Hope I didn't make you sick. Do I go the direction of that houseboat? Or do I go over here? And I believe as we get closer, it appears there's shoreline all the way over to there. So we need to go out and around it this way, which would be northwest. Yes, I always knew that. Weird out here. There we have a 22. A WC-22. Red buoy, so that should be on my left. Well, there's our landmark. And if we look over way down there, by golly, that looks like where people are. But everyone I have seen coming out of here has been coming out from the other side of that. So I guess I'm really wandering here. I guess I need to go over in that direction. So instead of going right at it or to the left, maybe I need to go this direction. Time. That WC-22 was Warm Creek 22, and that landmark we've been using is called Castle Rock, and that is Wowee. So I can go straight on through there to Wowee. This area here that we ended up coming to get across to Wowee ends up having a real narrow little inlet here and shallow. There's a warning sign over there, and it says 20 foot here. So we're gonna move ahead cautiously and see if we can get through here. But I'd recommend the next time to go on to the other side of this. Right now I'm going west, so I need to go on the south side of this. 16 foot, 15 foot, 14 foot. $13 foot. It's going to be a close one. If the water wasn't up, I wouldn't even have a chance going through here. 12 foot, 11 foot, 10 foot. I just saw the top of a bush. 11 foot. I believe we're over the hump here. 11 foot. Yeah, next time I'd say, oh goodness, 6 foot, 4 foot, 11 foot. These trees.
They stick up on the display and it reads them. 9 foot, 8 foot, 8 foot, 7, 7, 6. We'll go through there. We got down to 4 foot. There's no reason. And there's a pontoon boat that was headed through there. I had put the camera down. That going to turn around. We're finally out to 10 foot, so not a good deal. Don't take the shortest route. Now, as we get a little bit closer, I went more in the direction of Castle Rock. As we get a little bit closer to Castle Rock and a little further away from the real sandy bar over there on the side, there's a red peak in here, red marker. We're in 87 foot of water here, so we're okay. It's a red marker. Should be on my left. Well, it's not. Yeah, it is. I got. See, here's my left hand. No, it's on that side. It's on the left. Alright. And it is marker what? WC14, Warm Creek 14. And over there is the green. Boy, somewhere. Where do we see it? There we go. Alright, so you stay snug up to Castle Rock. That's what the channel markers want you to do. Stay on the close side, on the north side of Castle Rock. From alongside of Castle Rock, Waweek down there. So just have to use that as a guide and stay close to it and don't try and take that shortcut. I went in and got gas. And this is nothing but boat rentals and gas. The marina store and all that stuff is further towards the dam, which is that direction. And so that's where we'll be headed. Sites from the same spot there. There's the power plant. Then we're sweeping across Waheap back towards Warm Creek. That's Castle Rock. Look at those two arches there. Well, that arch, one arch and some holes. Maybe we can get a little closer to it. And I took a still shot of that, but it looks like a gorilla's head popping out of the ground, and you can see the one eyeball and the other's starting to come out. That's what it looked like to me anyway. Or a crocodile. So we'll be headed back over there. Oh, illusion! There isn't an arch there. That's a shadow from up above coming down. It sure looks like an arch from a distance, so at least to me it did. I'll show you these houseboats. Tour boat wave. You're going to see it come in at the bottom of your screen there.
That's the first one. Look at those monsters. These are some big boats, and lots of them. Turn around backwards now. I'm gonna have to stop pretty soon. I'm gonna fall off. Imps of Glen Canyon Dam. Tour boat that swamped us. Made the picture rolls down there driving by it now. We will too, but I wanted to give you an overview of it first. Hey. Here's the dam from up close. Holds back all this water that we've been over. All of it's held back by this. Without this, there'd just be the Colorado River. With it, it's Colorado and a whole lot more. I don't think I'm going to go in there next to that with the tour boat. Pretty phenomenal that it can hold back all that water. Oops. Right now our depth reader is saying 445 foot deep here. I don't know what it is over there. Maybe I'll go and look. But that gives you an idea of proportion. See, they said the marina store is right underneath of there somewhere. No, I'm not going there. Proud eagle. That's the control building for the gates. Right now the depth finder is reading 500 foot. And traffic is smooth. Sky Spy reporter. So, if we went over the edge, we'd go a long ways. So it's about 500 foot in its deepest. It's just a long ways down there behind me. Right now it's only reading 150 because it slopes out away from the dam. See the big slide that's in that gate? It holds back all that water. Open that up and we go kapoosh. there's another set of slides. So all these big pillars are gated doors. So if they wanted to, they could release as much as they wanted all the way across, so there wouldn't be a big washout. There'd be an even flow down the spillway. Good thing there's not much traffic here. Pretty soon I'm going to have to put it in reverse or go into the old neighborhood down below, I think. Just want to see what was around the corner there. Hey, that finishes it. So long, Glen Canyon Dam. Sailing, sailing over the ocean blue. Alright, it's not an ocean. Sailing, sailing over Lake Powell green. Well, maybe it's not green. Sailing, sailing over Lake Powell blue. Is that good enough, Tracy? Dam behind us, we have turned the corner, gone past a little beacon sign over here. We went to our right, and it says Wahweap Bay. Well, but what we're turning up into, though, is not Wahweap Bay. Well, we are getting ready to go through what they call the Narrows. Actually, the river, Colorado River path. You can see it right here. Instead of into Wahweap Bay, you follow the Narrows around and you come out on the other side of Antelope Island. Antelope Island, that's it, the one that had all the sandbars that we just about got stuck in. So we're gonna follow it around. Instead of going back to Wahweap, we're gonna come around, follow the Colorado, and then come out just above Wahweap and just past Antelope Island. So we're not gonna recross that and work through how to avoid getting on the wrong side of Castle Rock, but that's something to remember if you come down here again. So we're going to head back via the Colorado River path. In the middle of the entrance to this channel is this green buoy. Now, I'm not sure what it says yet. I thought we were going to drift over there by it. I'll have to put it in gear so we can see something. What do you think it'll say, Tyler? You got any ideas, Tracy? I don't either. One! Oh, I'm glad we saw that. That's an important one. Buoy number 1. Never see that anywhere again. One more time. 20 foot of water. And there we are. The famous buoy. Is that the Narrows entrance of the Colorado River channel away from the dam for the first time? And over there was where the beacon was on that side. About this channel of the Colorado River here is coming from the Wahweap side. This is the first opportunity to see what it's like in a canyon. But this was here before Wahweap Bay was. I believe Wahweap Bay was a result of the water being backed up. But this is the original river channel. This thing's 530 feet deep right where we're at. So I believe this came first. But at any rate, for somebody coming from the Wahweap side, this is their first and only vision of the canyon. Canyon walls that they'll see. If they go on they'll have to go on quite a ways before they'll actually see any more of it outside of this Colorado River channel. Everything else is basically like this. Rolling flats. Not a very pretty place, but it's rugged. This is just getting into the canyon, and that's one of the first big landmarks that you see there, towering in behind. I have to look up what that is, but we just entered into the canyon, and that's what we see. This red buoy, which says 4. And it's right on the edge of this big open area. So we're just going to have to feel our way through this one. We saw from when we first entered Colorado, and it is on the west side in the reservation line, as opposed to being out here on the shorelines. So now we're getting ready to head into Padre Bay, empty out from the Colorado channel into Padre Bay. This is at buoy 16A, which is at the exit into the other bays. And look at the skyline here, the shoreline. Before I got run over by a speedboat, who would have the right of way, of course, is look at the skyline. There's the buoy. Just phenomenal. It's like a museum. Facing north from that same location at buoy 16A. View into Labyrinth Canyon. So, that's a view into Labyrinth Bay. We don't want to go there, but it is pretty. Butte, Dominguez Butte, and over across the opposite direction is Padre Butte. It's a confusing one. I never did see coming the other direction that I knew for sure. But there's Padre, and the Padre Bay, and you swing all around, and you end up with Dominguez and Boundary. She stopped to ask if I was lost again. I said no, and then she told me about this being Padre Bay, and that she went to the top of that with Michael Bolton and the video guy and filmed up there. She said it was a highlight of her career. She said it's certainly a high point. She says they do a lot of filming around in this bay because of the striking surroundings with so much room out here. Our little Howard Johnson's home away from home. This is a island that comes up in the middle of Padre Bay. You can see Padre over there. And behind me is the familiar Boundary. Boundary. Well, they're buttes anyway. They're real buttes, and that's where we got to go around tomorrow. Douglas, I think, is what it is. Boy, it's terrible to have a short memory and be doing the narrative. But that's where we'll be headed tomorrow. But for now, we have this little beached island out in the middle, and this is it. I wished I could have gotten out here quicker, but the sun's setting. Hills are reddish. Just look. Hopefully the balance is okay. Sorry, it was out of focus.
morning. Welcome to this morning's cooking show. Chef Boyardee here. It's a good globby oatmeal. It is Wednesday, October 11th, 9 o'clock, our time, or your time. And let's see. Oh, I want to share a cooking tip. Did you ever have a problem with getting the sand out of your pans and whatnot so you can cook in them? I found the one sure way to get it out. Fix an omelet. That's right. Sort of like a mud pack. Spread it all over the pan, cook it up, pulls up all that sand. Now it's clean for the next time. You might want to write that down. Another helpful cooking tip. Coffee. You're making coffee in a press. You know it's a little too fine when you have to put both of your hands on top of the coffee press and jump up and down to make it go down. So you might want to not make it quite so fine. That's what I ran into. I guess that's about the news for this morning's cooking show. It's a nice day out here. Now that yesterday's over, I'd like to share you a little story. What happened at the end of the day when we got here. Just before those dramatic sunset pictures, I was sitting on the beach, laying on the beach, listening to a CD, trying to relax, had a huge headache from squinting through that machine, looking for buoys all day, and thought I'd relax out there. So I took the two luxuries I had, CD player and my Ezra Brooks Kentucky whiskey. And I sat out on the beach, and I was going to get my headache gone and my relaxation back. So I'm laying there listening to it. I hear this rumble in the distance, and there's a tour boat coming across there. I didn't think anything of it. That's quite a ways out there. Well, the boat was not facing this direction. My boat was not facing this direction. I had the nose into the shore and the back out. Well, big waves started coming in. It was like an ocean here. They were cresting, and I didn't even put two and two together yet. I just knew they were big waves. I saw the boat going back and forth, so I said, I better get out there and keep it from sliding up on top of rocks or getting grounded. So I came out and held the boat and thought that was it. I saw there was another tour boat in the distance, so I thought I'd get the back end positioned where I wanted it this time, and went and laid down again. Well, then I hear the waves crashing again from the tour boat, and I look up, and these things are cresting over the back end of the boat. They're hitting the transom in the back and splashing up and going over all of my cooking box. Halfway up the boat, the driver's seat, everything was getting drenched. I ran out there getting covered with water. It's coming up to my waist. Luckily I took the headsets off, so I wasn't drenching the CD player. But I come out here and tried to move it. There wasn't a darn thing I could do, but as the boat went by, I waved my hands at them like this and yell at them for drowning my boat. And finally they pass over on this side, and the waves start to calm down, and I look inside, and it just missed my camera, so I was very fortunate in that direction. I started to pump out the bilge water, turned the bilge pump on. It ran for about 5 minutes to get all the water out, and then I realized that
something's missing. I looked up by my chair and I was looking for my Ezra Brooks bottle. Well, it's out over here floating, bobbing along, sort of like help, I'm stranded on an island bottle. That was too much. So enough's enough. I dove in, got it, brought it back, cork sealed, it was fine. Oh, and before all this had happened, I decided, okay, I'm going to get the nose of the boat around. After I got my bottle back, I decided I'm going to get the nose of the boat towards the waves. This isn't going to happen again. So I knew I had to change anchors. So my big anchor, I pulled out quite a ways out there, and I was going to drop it. I drop it and going to head back into the shore here. I keep backing out, and ropes unspooling and unspooling, and then I'm about 20 yards or so from the shore. The last of the rope goes over. My anchor's way of the Toledo out there, and my end of the rope is following it to the bottom, and I've got a long ways to shore. So I had to keep backing it in, run it in as far as I could, try and hook up a anchor in the back to hold the boat so it didn't disappear while I searched for the anchor, get my snorkel gear on, and go out here and do the bay search underneath, back and forth until I found the rope. Then I found it, I had to pull up the anchor. Well, that's a heavy anchor when you're just floating out there. It wanted to pull me down. But I got it up, swimming like a barge back in this direction, kind of lose my bearings, figure I'm close enough. I drop it again, start heading in, and I realize I'm about 20 yards to that side of the boat. So I had to start tracing the rope back, come pick it up, haul it in, bring it over here, dump it, come back and connect it. This anchor wasn't holding. I was about ready to lose the back end of the boat, so I found another anchor, dug a hole, ran out here. I'm dripping wet and freezing, and I look up and say, oh my gosh, look at that sunset. I've got to record that. So there I stood with the camera in a very poor mood or frame of mind, taking this beautiful, serene shot, panning around the side, not saying anything because I didn't dare. And that was the end of that day. So now the story's out. You had to put up with it. Now I've told my deal. It's all done. I put on a tape, a CD of Sister Act 2, and listened to black gospel music and relaxed and went to sleep. Uneventful night. Occasionally I looked up to make sure I was still in the same vicinity of Lake Powell because there was a wind, but other than that, it was a nice night. This is beautifully clear water here, even when it's coming up over the back of the boat. It's pretty water. So where am I going today? I don't know. I think I'm going to go off this direction. That's the direction of Bullfrog and dangling rope. But it's so beautiful here. I happen to be in a windy section. It's really not that bad all over. The water's pretty calm today. But I didn't get to say it on the telephone since I left a message for Becky. But I'll whisper sweet nothings in your ear too via tape. Psst, 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 psst. Love you. And I'll go back to eating my oatmeal if I can carve out a piece. You know, this stuff would be good. If you ever get a hole in the boat, you got a solution right here. All right, that's all the cooking tips for Grandpa Ezra. And we'll get on with the day. See ya. How's this for a test pattern? This is blue. I'm going to get back up to my soapbox here.
few more tips I forgot about. 2 of them have to do with drinking. First one, these little foil deals, they are so handy. You just poke a straw in it, you take a drink, you throw it away. I do have one thing that you need to look out for. Don't poke the straw through the back end where it comes out here. You have a real problem. It shoots out. It shoots out on you and everything around you. So kids, don't do that, please. Helpful tip number 2 has to do with travel mugs. Greatest thing ever invented. For the man on the move. And if you're a fellow like myself that has high standards, you need to know when to wash it. And to me, the easiest way of knowing when you need to wash the old thing out is when you have to take the straw out of your fruit juice deal and ream open a new hole here, poke open the hole because of the built up coffee grounds on it. You probably ought to wash it. You can do this once, but go ahead and wash it the next time. Okay? Good tip. And if you like good strong coffee, the grounds from the last round just does it. That's sort of like twice baked potatoes. Okay, those are the helpful hints as far as food and drinking. And the last thing is about anchoring. Having sunk a boat before and having dealt with these tour boats, there's one simple thing that you got to do when you anchor from both sides. You got to make sure that there's enough slack here and enough slack in the back that the boat can bob up and down like this. If it can bob, you'll do fine in even the biggest waves. But if one end's tight, it can't, like the back end, if it's too tight up on the shore, the front end can't bob very well. You get the front end too tight and it can't come up. You get a tight line in between here and the boat stays level, right, but the waves go in. So it's anchored right if you can be on a wave and be going like this freely. That's right. If it's not like that, you'll either tear out your anchors or you'll flood the boat. I know. Enough of the lecture. Get on with it. See you. Head back. Some critical landmarks. This is the backside of Dominguez Butte. We just rounded the corner from where we were in Padre Bay, staying to the right-hand side as we were heading back toward Dangling Rope, and we come around this corner over here, and then our next landmark is the left side, marking the left side of this channel, and that is Gooseneck Point. And so once we come from around Dominguez Butte, instead of hanging and hugging the right-hand shore, which would get us into that face canyon again, we hug the left and go around Gooseneck Point. This is the side of Gooseneck Point. We just came from back over there, come across, and we're on the side of it, and instead of continuing over on that side, we're going to go over here. And there's a green buoy there. I'm not sure what number it is, but we're going in between the two land masses. This is an island, this is a point, and we're going to go on around the back side of the island. It is possible to get around on that side,
but it's also easy to get into the wrong bay. Going on that side, you can get into the Last Chance Bay again. So we're going to go in between there now. Landmass that we're going in between, that's Gregory Butte. Here's Gooseneck, there's Gregory Butte, and we're going to go in between them. Friendly little beacon that we were just over by, couldn't read it. Well, all this going around the butte was to avoid coming through this stretch of water here, which right now is passable, but under lower water conditions it wouldn't be. That was the purpose of heading around this butte here. The name of this butte is Gregory Butte. Now, we came around this side over here, and what we did was just touch into the bay of Last Chance Bay. That's where I took the wrong turn coming here. I went on this side, and instead of cutting back and heading back around Gregory Butte, I went into Last Chance Bay because it was wider. But no, I needed to cut around the backside of Gregory Butte, or just continuing following the left-hand shoreline around the other side of Gregory Butte. Be careful not to go into West Canyon over there. Let's see, West Canyon's over there. Gregory Butte along the far shoreline, we'll see Cummins Mesa. That's Cummins Mesa. Clear up some things. Gregory Butte, Grand Bench, comes along where it deepens. Where that houseboat is crossing, that's Friendship Cove. Up the ways is Rock Creek Bay. And across from Rock Creek Bay is the entrance into Dungeon, which is right there. Now this is the edge of Cummins Mesa. This is the tip of it there, and then that's where you go in for Dungeon. For clarity's sake, just before we pass it, there is the beacon on the tip of the entrance to Dungeon. We're just about ready to go past that. And directly across from it, over here, is Rock Creek Bay. In the mouth of Rock Creek Bay, there's the tip of the Grand Bench, and this is Rock Creek Canyon. Now, I believe we went over to this one over here, which is Little Rock Creek Canyon. This one over here is Dry Rock Creek Canyon, Middle Rock Creek Canyon, and Rock Creek Canyon itself. We're going to head back into Rock Creek Canyon and do a little bit of exploring there. Back of Rock Creek Canyon. Continues on for some ways up there. one of the last fingers coming off of it over in this direction. And all of this is the same mesa that was at the entrance. And that's Grand Bench. Grand Bench is huge. From the air it must be the main main mesa around here, seems like. That's the back. And here's the opposite side. Looking back where we came from, there's the bay entrance and the two canyon walls. And then over there is dungeon. I keep referring back to that because that's one thing we do know. Hi, we're in Rock Creek Canyon in one of the side canyons, little fingers that come off, and I've been trolling around, haven't done anything, but came back and found something sort of interesting. Right there on the rock. Tyler, what do you think those are? Well, from what I can tell, I believe those are miner's steps that have been cut into the rock. As you go down below the water, they get bigger, and as the angle gets steeper, they get bigger for a foothold. And it appears that the person is standing up, working their way down the cliff. Another thing also is this arrow. Indicates where those steps lead down and to follow this way. Now it appears that they may have started to put some over here. But that area comes down onto a receding drop-off. Cuts back like that. Wouldn't be a very good spot. I think that's why they were abandoned. I'm not sure how they put them in. Whether they worked up or hung from a rope and worked down to do them, but that looks like it was abandoned in favor of these. So what I'm going to do is, after taking a little bit of a lunch, I'm going to swim over there and see if I can climb up those steps just like they did. I do know that there is it's a big tree down underneath of there, and it could that could be just a single set of steps from the bottom level down here, which is about 20 foot. So I'm going to swim over there and check it out. But it's of interest. That's the first I've ever seen up close and not in a picture. One of the things, I don't know if you can see or not, they have little indentations in them. First I thought those were toe marks. I think those are from the actual chisel edges. And that one looks like, this one here looks like it was rounded out. They cut an edge like they were going to go deeper and didn't. That sure is a plain arrow. Very clear what it's saying. They go down this way, boys. anything in the area is to think about the effect of water and where the water used to be. That was made from the bottom of a waterfall, coming down there and splashing a current, digging out that, and then coming down here and rolling out. There's another little indentation, and then it comes out into this center area here. But think of the water, the amount of water that it took to do that, and how high it must have been. And right across from it is something that you wouldn't relate with water hardly at all. I mean, it's just vertical cliffs. And maybe that portion of it didn't get hit by water, but this portion down here probably was. Okay, I want to do this real subtly or smoothly so I don't rock the camera. Scientific things like this are real important. So I need to slip into the water carefully so the boat doesn't go flying and I'm not in the picture anymore. So I'll get ready to slip in carefully. Oh, hi, you're getting a terrible shot, huh? Hi. 1, 2. Ooh, it's gonna be cold. 3. Whoops, I forgot about the scientific side. And to take my watch off. Okay, reenacting history. Joe Blow going for dinner. I've been working in the mine all day. And I am so tired. I wonder what Ethel's gonna have to eat. Ta-da! Hello! Hi! Well, I think my camera's wandering. I did get up here. Yep. Boat just happened to move. I guess I went in with too much enthusiasm there. Listen to the echo. Hi! Hello? Tracy? Tyler? Becky? Becky? Tyler? Tracy? Hot smoke! Oh! Now you're back over here. Hi. You know, I wish that cameraman had stopped moving. Yeah, there's no steps over here. Is there? Nope. Not at all. Well, I don't know what I'm trying to do here. I think I'd rather dive, but it slopes out. I don't know if I can jump out that far. So, let's see.
see me? Nope. Hey, camera, over here. Over to your right. Hey, come on. Over to your right. Somebody, turn the camera.
Well, doggone it anyway. I was getting ready to dive and I didn't want to do it off camera because it's a long ways down. If I gotta do it, I gotta do it on camera. So, we'll have to make some adjustments after these messages. We'll be right back. Right? Yep. Ugh, it's a hard day. Gotta go back to the mine, Ethel. One. Just like Tracy. 1, 2, 3.
Now this is very serious. Thank you. Now for my last number. It could be my very last if somebody comes around the corner. I better hide it.
Well, good afternoon. This is my morning check-in on video. I haven't got anything done today. Not a thing. And I guess that means I've arrived. I knew I needed to get around. I wanted to get around. I wanted to do this, wanted to do that. And then I decided, yeah, I also want to do nothing. So I've done nothing all morning. And I know that makes you envious, Becky. Thank you for letting me do nothing. And let's find a way for you to do it too. I have been watching carp and suckers feed off of the walls. They swim along off the wall. What they're eating, I don't know. Scum or something. I don't. I don't know. But the water here is really clear, so I don't. It's not all stagnant anyway. So I don't really have any big plans. I'm going to continue heading on up to Dangling Rope. I need to get some gas, and I'm going to head. I plan tomorrow to head back in and hopefully get the boat loaded up so that I can leave early Saturday morning. But before I close, I want to tell you about my powdered milk. You know, it's hard to believe, but I thought something had to be good before it could go bad. Now, powdered milk I don't have much of a love affair with, but you know, it works out in a pinch. Well, if there's a little bit left in the bottom of this, it smells really awful the next day. So it does go bad after all that work. Tyler, you know how they make dried milk? How do they make powdered milk, Tracy? Well, what they do is they round up a bunch of cows. And since this is desert country, it's perfect for it. And they run them around in the heat until their milk dries into powder, and then they just open it up and it pours out. And then we add water back to it and we get powdered milk. But at any rate, there is another little science fact here, that if there's a little bit left in the bottom and you close it up tight like this and you put it in the box there like it's supposed to be, in a couple hours in the warm sun, it'll blow the top off. I thought I had visitors. I hear this kapoop with the top flying off. So, fantastic science experiment. I'm going to swim over and get up on the rocks and chase a lure that I left up there that got stuck, came flying off my line. I didn't catch any fish, but it's been good anyway. See ya. I'm going to try and jump before those guys come back in their boat. And hopefully I can do this without rocking the boat. Oops. I'm super duper hooked onto my swim trunks. Yowie. Well, those things bite, they don't let go. Okay, now I'm going to take a real quick bath. I'll keep my clothes on.
Boy, was that a butt buster! Now that's rinsing quick. My hiney still stings.
If we ever want to go back there again, this is where we just came out of. Right around that corner there. It's a whole pretty good sized finger back there. And it is directly across from this landmark here. Oh, it looks like dog's head, and it's real thin. And this is towards the back. That's how far it is to the back of the Rock Creek. So that's the dog with a skinny head. That's the back. Pan this way, and there's our entrance. Now we're going to go the opposite direction now and head out towards Dangling. We're going to try and clear up a mistake here. I didn't make it to Dangling Rope. I'm back at Rock Creek, coming this way. This is the first place that can be turn left, and that's not it. Those are the other fingers. Without the screw up. These are the two forks, the middle fork and the dry creek. We hadn't even gotten to them when I pointed to them before, so my problem was that's where I was heading, trying to get to Dangling Rope. I need to go further out, like I'm coming out of the bay, and clear it, and then hang left there. Out of Rock Creek until we pass this dorky looking rock. I'd call it a barking seal rock, which is at the very last before the channel opens up and goes this direction. That's where we got to go. So this is, you actually empty out from Rock Creek quite a ways and follow this here before you get to the channel. Well, it's me again. This could be the last chance that I get to do this. So I just want to do some talking head things here. Just look in the background and see the sunset going down. And the reason why the camera's going like this, because it's windy out here. That's why I'm where I'm at. I'm at Sheep Mountain Canyon. There we go. Sheep Rock Canyon. Well, I thought I knew the name of it. Hey, it's sheep and it's a canyon. I believe it's Sheep Rock Canyon. It's where we went swimming before kids and did some climbing on the rocks. And everybody got cold, but that's where we found the cup from dangling rope at the bottom of the water. We have it home. Let's see, hang on a second. It's getting pretty windy. No telling how windy it's going to be. I'm worried about my anchor though. We'll just have to keep working on this as we can. Hi. I think we're okay for the moment. There's a rock over there. I didn't want to go over the top of it. At any rate, what did I enjoy about the vacation so far the most? I'd say getting to explore, be explorer. You're never too old to do that. I'm still a kid, and I can enjoy being one, even though I'm getting old. I enjoyed making choices. Where am I going? Let me make a choice. What am I going to do? Let me make a choice. And it was a lot easier because I was the only one. And it's hard if it gets harder the more people are involved. Now all you guys couldn't be camping in this boat. So we couldn't repeat this sort of thing with everybody. So that's why it's important that I enjoy it. It's unique. I liked thinking about when the kids get older, maybe being able to take one of them with me at a time and maybe coming back up here and doing it and sharing it. I think I could probably manage with one other person if we really had a system down, and maybe we can do that sometime. But this is the time of year to come out here. It's just really, really nice. To think I left Colorado, it was snowing as I headed up over Eisenhower through the tunnel, and I came here and I haven't used my cold weather stuff except for my stocking cap on my bald spot at night since I got here. So it's just really been nice. So lots of things to think about. Remember, I hope this tape helps. I hope it helps remind me of how I got here. I had a terrible time getting the dangling rope, and it was just around the corner, and that was the last place I had to go. I went all over the place, and finally I ended up right back at the back of Rock Creek Canyon where I started from. So I'm sure it's a little confusing to watch, and hopefully it doesn't make you seasick. But I didn't get lost a whole bunch of times. I mean, considering who was driving, I did pretty darn good. So I haven't lost anything of importance.
Haven't broke anything. Boat's running fine. I still have a full head of hair. My contacts are in the case, and my bait's still good. So it's been pretty good, and I hope to see you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.